Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Full Circle Podcast. You know, I don't say the podcast part because I feel it's redundant, but we are a podcast.
It's true.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, I mean, this is just the visual component of said podcast.
It's true.
So
we have faces for podcast.
Exactly.
That's why we're on YouTube.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And we have names to go along with those faces. Mine is Harmon Jr., and you can find this face and name at Harmon Jr. on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc.
And I am Jared Fradette. You can find me at all those same places at Toon Velo. Our exciting episode for today will consist of 3 topics. We'll be talking about Pokemon Go. I know, we talk about Pokemon a lot, but we're Pokemon enthusiasts. We have a responsibility to discuss all things Pokemon.
Yeah, like what's happening with the series, and is the game still important? Should you still keep playing it? Is it going to become irrelevant by the end of 2019? God, I hope so.
I was going to say, I think Odell is signaling here.
We'll also be talking about our favorite anime villains.
That's right. Our Will and Crush Wednesdays? No. I will and Crush Wednesdays.
Sure.
Like Women Crush Wednesdays.
I got it.
But first and foremost, we'll be discussing Phantom games and Phantom game mechanics. Games and mechanics that we were promised, that were in the works, that were going to be great, and then weren't. Not that they were bad, they just never existed.
Never happened. Hence the name Phantom. They were just, mirages, figments of our imagination. Rumors, only whispered through the dark.
They ghosted us.
Yeah, that they quite literally did.
So the game that kind of inspired this for me was, of course, the third component of the Legend of Zelda series, right? We had Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and we were supposed to have Oracle of Secrets, or its actual working title was Mystical Seed of Courage.
Yeah, so I played Oracle of Seasons. Mm-hmm. Jared played Oracle of Ages, and if we had a third game, we probably would have had
And I also played Seasons. I did the fun because this is kind of why it failed, because it was supposed to be a whole linking process where you tell passwords to one and then you go back to the other. So I did start with Ages though, because it was the puzzle one. I really liked it.
Exactly. See, they didn't need to know you played both.
But and if
you ruined my whole joke about that's why we don't have a third.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll sit in my corner of shame now.
Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't matter now. The joke's, the moment's gone.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have read the room. Should have known it was coming.
But yes, continue. You did the password system and
right. So I did the password system because I really wanted, because you start out with the Master Sword. If you beat Ages, tell the secrets to Seasons, beat Seasons, and tell those secrets back to Ages, then you start with the Master Sword. It makes the game so much easier from the beginning. Of course, you've already beaten the game, so that's probably the ultimate leg up you could have right there. Especially in a game based on puzzles and you already know the solutions.
I'm actually cool with... I've always been a fan of playing through a game, but the game gives you something where you're super mega powerful, like an RPG, where it's just one shot, one shot. I remember you were hard, poof. When you can start game over level 99.
Right.
There's fun humor in that for me.
I say, although I'm always annoyed by the... It can't possibly be SAS because it's the same dialogue for you as 99 but at 1. You start over again ho, you better do this tutorial. Do you think you can handle those wooden figures over there? And you're like, I have the Master Sword. I have 24 hearts. What do you think?
No, I always like it in games where there's optional bosses or optional characters that are really hard to beat at the time, and then you go back and you're like, boom. You kick open the door and it flies past them, cutting a hole in the wall. You're like, yeah, no one get past me. It's we'll see about that. And you're and what's the funny part? You fight them and somehow still as hard as a regular battle would be, but you're completely maxed out and you're just
huh.
Still win though. That's all that matters.
Of course, yeah. But this wasn't this wasn't the only game that did this. We had other examples.
Yeah, so for those who played Banjo-Kazooie 1 and 2, so in Banjo-Kazooie 1 there was 3 items that A did nothing and B were inaccessible. One was the ice key. The other two were these eggs, these mystery eggs, and you could never get the ice key. Like it just said you had to do something. Like that mysterious game text was like it'll make sense later, and you can get these mystery eggs to where, if you get them, you had to do something with them. And the thing was, in Banjo-Kazooie 2, there's going to be a system called Stop and Swap where you take out Banjo-Kazooie 1, you put in Banjo-Kazooie 2, and you swap the items between the two, and it lets you do something in part 2, and it's supposed to send back and let you do something in part 1, where it makes the games, easier, funner. I'm not sure what they ultimately did. But Nintendo, the reason they didn't do that is because they didn't want kids ripping the games out while they were still on and putting the other games in and messing something up. So ultimately, the idea was scrapped, but the code for the items and the set items were left in the game. And so years and years went by, and people were trying to figure out how do you get the ice key, how do you get the eggs, what do they do? And sad truth was you couldn't. The idea was scrapped, but it was scrapped after the items were put in. So like any game world, people have to break the game to essentially get them. Use some type of game genie or code shark. And it was sad because it was like, oh, what are those things we're gonna do? We don't know. We'll never know. I mean, we kind of know. The developers said, but it's just annoying. You ever had a thing in the game that you just can't reach? You think maybe once I beat the game, I can get there. Oh crap! I beat the game. I still can't get there. Maybe if I hidden skill, 100%. You had I've done everything in the game possible. How?
Right? No, I was trying to look it up again. So like with Pokemon, I sent this link to you so you might remember more of the details. Right? It's like the hidden capsule, like in black and white. Mm-hmm. It's like if you arbitrarily meet like someone in a building and they say like, hey, how about them bottles? You're supposed to say like a password to them, and then they give you a lock that you like have to attach to Pokemon in this special mystery trade away to like another game. Remember this?
Oh, yeah, the capsule thing that can open by the key. You get the capsule in
I thought it was black and white.
Oh, the key is in black and white. You send the capsule to black and white, and then the clown opens it because he can open anything or something like that.
Right, like it's like in one of the Rocket. I forget the villain of that time.
I think it was you get the item in the previous game, so you got it in was it Diamond and Pearl? No, or
yes, it would have been Diamond and Pearl then.
Okay,
right. It's like Diamond, Pearl, and then in black and white, there's that arbitrary throwaway character that's like, hey, I'm a juggler, but I'm also pretty good at picking locks. But if you don't have that item, you don't think this means anything.
Even if you get the item, you would never think to go back to Castilla City because it says it needs a key. So you're kind of thinking, I just gotta find a key, not a lock picker.
Right, like for all of the jokes about Pokemon being about like animal fights, it pretty much asks you to follow the law. Kind of. It never prompts you to seek out to break the law.
I know that's a prime example that you use, but I swear this happens in about every other Pokemon game where there's NPCs that clearly have a purpose, and you look it up online, and its purpose is like, okay, for events like you'd be like, oh, they're gonna send me a code to get Arceus, and this person I have to talk to. Oh, that event never happened. It never happened in America, or it just,
Pokemon is actually really bad about doing this. Yeah, it's like all the events.
It's like, oh, there's supposed to be an Arceus event. Nope, we kind of canned that event. You just get it now. Here it is.
Well, it's disappointing because like sometimes these events will occur in Japan.
Yeah,
right?
they won't happen here.
The whole Darkrai event, the Celestia event, not Celestia, the Sleepy Dream one. What's her name? Celestia? Cresselia.
Okay.
Right?
The moon Pokemon.
The anti-Darkrai.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they were supposed to, like you get the flute and you go to the island, you summon it. These are.
And then my thing is, I swear some have happened after the next generation game was already out.
It's true, which is again hilarious.
Those aren't phantom game mechanics. Those are forgotten game mechanics that someone's just like, oh yeah, crap, we put that whole segment of code in the game, that special event. Hey, I know the game came out 2 years ago, but here you go.
Right? People have already traded the game back away.
I swear, I think this has happened. I can't think of this, where there was an event for a Pokemon, and they also just released the Pokemon as a mystery gift, and then the event came later, and I was like, oh, so I'm going to have 2 of these. But the first one I got was just the one given to me.
Yes, that happened with Cresselia. I'm just going to keep calling it that now.
Okay.
Yes, because I remember I did go to an island with a flute, or the wing, right? The moon wing.
Something like that.
But I already had it. And I think I have like 5 Darkrai's now because of this various jumbled events. I'm like, I only had the one game, but I kept getting it for some reason.
Well, since we're on the Pokemon, there is an actual Phantom Pokemon game. And
Oh.
no, it is not that black version, the Lavender Town. If you find it in your own, no, that doesn't exist. And if it does, then I hope it's buried away in the Bermuda Triangle or something, because that's freaky.
Right. So I had Pokemon Blue, and Odell had Pokemon Red.
I actually had yellow.
Well, okay. I was trying to revive that joke from the beginning.
No, I'm not gonna let you. I'm stomping it out like you did mine.
I'm so ashamed.
But for this argument, I have Pokemon Red.
Okay. But it's your joke, and I won't step on this any more than I have to.
All right.
And that's why we don't have a third host. But right, okay, so like in America, we had Pokemon Blue, and there was supposed to be Pokemon Green, but that was only Japan. And this kind of comes back to, again, the same issue with Legend of Zelda. Nintendo couldn't quite figure out how to link 3 Game Boys together.
Yeah, there were supposed to be 3 original Pokemon games: Red, Blue, and Green. Japan, there was Red and Green. Here, it was Red and Blue.
That girl you see in the opening of the anime, who is she? Green.
And she's green. She's in, if you have Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, she finally makes her video game debut. Like, officially, they put her in there, give homage to her. But if you look at the original...
she's finally, like, Broly canon.
Yeah.
Like, there
But if you look at the original Pokemon art, like, from the 90s, like, of the games, you see there's 3 trainers. One's red, one is blue, and there's a girl with the hat. You see from the back, she's green. Mm-hmm. There was supposed to be a 3rd game, and, which I'm actually kind of happy. Could you imagine, like, 3, like... This only appears in red, this only appears in blue, and this only appears in green. And have to find someone with blue and or green to get,
But that'd be a whole just thing, right? Because it's like, they would have to, I think there would have to have had been some overlap, right? Like, okay.
I mean, of course there would have been over, but there would have been Pokemon that only appear in green, Pokemon that only appear in red, and Pokemon that only appear in blue.
Which, the linking was already not done well.
So imagine he needed a Pokemon from red and green, and he was like, oh man, I need like 3 friends.
Nintendo still isn't that great at linking things, right? It's like, hey, do you want to talk to your friends in Splatoon? Buy this jumble of cables and route it through this, like, hot wire box. I'm like...
So it finally happened. I played Smash Online with a friend, and he messaged me, he was like, so do you want to hop in Discord? And I was like, oh, God, I'm here. It finally happened. I'm playing a game online, and I'm talking on my phone.
Platforms. Okay, we just gotta do this, gotta do this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to play.
And then it was just like, and I was like, well, if I'm already on my phone, why don't I just use the Nintendo app? I was like, wait, no, that's stupid. The question is, why would I use the Nintendo app? Might as well just use my phone. Yes, we were doing this correctly.
It just, I don't know. But, there was also, sorry, I'm still shaking my head like, oh, Nintendo, you're still not great at connections here.
And just to cap this off, there was the fun game, because it always made me mad, because I still do that. I'll look at the GameCube box, like, oh, look at the GameCube, fond memories. And I'm like, let's look at the games coming to the GameCube. Donkey Kong Racing. A picture of Donkey Kong riding an ostrich. Mm-hmm. Never saw the light of day.
Nope.
Maybe it'll come to the Switch this year. Now I can be like,
DLC for Mario Kart?
No.
Just ostriches?
No. Oh, God.
That sounds like a really bad, like, old school, like, hack. Like, Game Shark hack. Like GoldenEye, like, yeah, everyone has giant heads and you shoot paintballs and everyone rides ostriches.
I'll take it.
Woo! Okay, so we threw a lot of hate around, but you know who throws a lot of hate around? Villains.
They do.
So, next segment, our Villain Crush Wednesdays.
You're really
I want this to happen.
Yeah, all right, you know what? I'll let you. It's villain. It's like because they're villains. They cut off like the extra leg of the W.
I was just gonna wait. Wasn't there like a Volkswagen commercial that was like Volkswagen?
Yeah, V-Dubs.
Yeah, V-Dubs. There we go. Okay, so I'll kick off this session. So possibly, one of my favorite villains of all times. Well, obviously that's why he's on this list. Is Maximilian Pegasus. Has to be. I just loved how eccentric he was. I love that he played with tunes. He invented, he is the literal, eccentric bajillionaire. Maximilian Pegasus, now activate the mystical magical tune world. Nothing much you can do about that, Yugi boy? Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He was a cool villain. I really love this name.
Actually, his Japanese name, right, is supposed to be Pegasus J. Crawford.
Really?
Yes. But that would
J. Crawford.
Pegasus J. Crawford, but that would have made his wife Cynthia Crawford, which sounds too much like the celebrity. So we flipped all that around, and his name is Maximilian Pegasus.
No, I'm saying that's a very Western name for such a Japanese show.
They find some interest. Well, I think he's American, like in the show.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like based in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Industrial Illusions. That's the. No, that's why it's funnier. Like later, like Joey's like, "Hey, we want a special trip to go to America. Don't you already live in America?" Yeah, I mean the other part of America.
Wait, do you get them live in America?
What?
Do you get them live in America?
No, in the English version.
Okay.
In the English version, it's they give the illusion that we're in America when clearly we're not.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Anywho.
Yeah, Maximilian J. Crawford.
No, it's Pegasus J. Crawford.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I can't be scared of a guy named that. Oh God, it's Pegasus J. Crawford.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
All right. So, going off my list, I'm going to go with... First, I'm going to start off with S-Def. She's from Akame ga Kill, which I'm wondering, like, when you say that in Japanese, does that make more sense?
Possibly. I mean, like everything, I assume it makes more sense than native language.
Yeah. Like what does ga kill even mean?
Death?
Sure. So, she was, like, the Ice Queen, the Winter General. She was just the main protagonist. And...
Antagonist.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. The main antagonist. And I liked her in the sense that she's one of my favorite villains in the sense that she was that right amount of powerful. Like, not unbeatable, but just vastly more powerful than most people around her.
Mm-hmm.
To where she was always posed a threat. I'm not gonna lie. As there's one, I liked her less. She would have been higher on my list because she, like, fell in love with I don't know. I guess Akame is the protagonist, technically.
Is she?
She's the namesake.
I mean,
it's like 3/4 of the way through, they're like, oh, the anime's really about her. I'm like, is it though? Because we've really been focusing on this kid for, like, all of it.
Right.
Until, like...
his hero story, how he came up, how he got his own weapon.
Yeah, and then it was just kind of like, oh, it's Akame's story. Now I'm like...
By the way, it's her and her death feud with her sister. Isn't that tragic? I don't know.
And she fell in love with our side protagonist, and then she just kind of went downhill from there and kind of, like, self-defeated herself. But before that, she was pretty cool because, like, she was very methodical, very thought out, very good and powerful. And, yeah, she was cool.
Yeah.
Pun intended. She had ice powers, people.
Cool. I was trying to make a different pun there. I was like, that's Frost. No. Okay, so my next villain, Hunter x Hunter, Hisoka. Love it. He has a simple power, but he is insane. Maybe just insane. I was gonna say insanely powerful.
Yeah, I think he is insane.
I don't know.
No, okay.
He does everything. He's still a hunter. He got a license.
Okay.
He's calculated. He has a weird lust for power, though.
I would say he's a sociopath. Maybe.
As far as in the series, I think he's the closest we've seen to a sociopath.
Yeah. I want to say, what's the word for people who like inflicting self-harm?
Masochist?
Yeah, I'll say he's like a weird mix between sociopath and masochist.
Yes. Like, he wants to murder people, but only if they're capable of murdering him.
Like, he wants the thrill of a challenge. Like,
But he's not, like, suicide. Like, he's not willing to throw his life away.
Yeah. But he's also not willing to fight someone who's not worthy of, has the potential to actually kill him and, like, make him work for killing. Yeah, a sociopath masochist mix. Like, it's like you pick traits from there, and, like, it almost he needs, like, a new term to describe him.
Psychologist, please tell us if this term already exists.
Yeah, I mean, it could. All right, so my next pick is... So, it's kind of a tie. It's from Digimon, their first series. It's kind of a tie between Myotismon and the Dark Masters / Puppetmon. So, the Dark Masters are, like, the ultimate villains at the ends of the series, and it's 4 extremely powerful Digimon. Like, them individually aren't that interesting, but them as like a menacing figurehead organization, like ruthless wise, they were just really good. Like, and the reason I say Puppet Mind, like they each played psychologically with the kids from the most, like making them from like, you know, from you're not loved to like you're not powerful enough to you're not smart. Like, you know, they each represented for them a different psyche to plague the kids. And I felt like them overall was just a simple villain, like a singular villain, excuse me. Like I mainly say Puppet Mind because he had the greatest villain arc out of all of them. The rest of them just kind of showed up, tormented, then was, you know, killed. Where he made them question them as people, them as a group, you know, and them, you know, on the end. He just toyed with them on every emotional thing, and then ultimately, when they overcame that, it thus psychologically tormented him, and just that parallel between all of that. Like, I can still today visually remembering Puppet Mind's death, and like the sorrow in his own defeat and demise, because he tried to break them up and prove that they weren't friends, and he succeeded. But then they overcame, like, you know, heroes do. But they overcame organically. And then when they defeated him, he cried out for help. And he realized he had no friends. He had no one to actually to help him when he was down and out. And, you know, that realization, you know, as he died was just like, he lost on, like, all terms. Like, imagine Lust Death, but, like, times 5.
Whew, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Pretty rough.
And my oldest mind, like, he killed Wizardmon, and like that was my first time dealing with like a major character's death and self-sacrifice in the series, and he was ruthless too. Like, he, like up until that point, like they were just kind of like, yeah, Digimon Digital World, yeah, oh the bad guy, but, you know, we're like, you know, kids and bad stuff doesn't happen, and then he came and was just like, no, consequence, death,
destruction,
yeah. And so they've always had a special spot in my heart. The original season of Digimon is awesome. Go watch it. It's only 52 episodes. You won't regret it.
Well, my next character, I just thought had a cool outfit. Okay, so you mentioned in Lust. My next villain is actually Envy from Full Metal Alchemist. And so I can actually give some more reason about this. Not as heartfelt and passionate as yours, but right. So, okay, admittedly, 1, I like the shape-shifting powers. 2, like, Envy is pretty much literally at the heart and crux of every conflict that moves the plot forward. Like, even from before we have, like, our characters, right? Like, founding of the country, fired the shot that, you know, set off the war.
The the Civil War with the Scars people.
Yeah.
I forgot what they were called.
Scars people. Yeah, right. That, of course, giving us the you can never forgive Envy for killing Maze Hughes. Like, that was just, like, that might even surpass Nina in terms of, like, death, sadness in the series. And that whole, like, you know, like, Envy tortured him psychologically, like, in 5 seconds before fully, like, killing him to the death. Right? Like, can't kill your... I shot you. But now I'm your wife. That's right. And now I'm going to shoot you again. It's just like, bam, hardcore. Like, everyone was just kind of serving themselves. But as far as, like, villainry goes, he was out to be a villain. He hated humans, and it showed. Slash was jealous of them. Because he's Envy.
Kind of goes hand in hand. Alright, so my next one is going to be a classic OG anime villain. Is going to be Aizen from Bleach. But only the Aizen before he gets to the real world. So
not his perfectly ultimate great moth interdimensional version at the end.
No, that was trash. So we're talking about Aizen with glasses. So all of Aizen with glasses, and maybe the first 20% of Aizen without glasses.
So the exact moment he is in the impenetrable yellow elevator and does the sexy eyeglass remove and goes, "That's right, I'm the villain."
Yeah.
That moment.
Yeah. I'll even give him, like, maybe, like, the first couple of meetings with the Arankars at, like, their White Palace table.
Where he seems to actually be in charge and doing things.
Yeah.
Before he kicks back and proceeds to do nothing for the next 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I will say, like, especially when you have when they first revealed that Aizen never died and it was fake, and that the one person that knew it was fake, he was taking, like, when he reveals himself that, because before he is in the yellow elevator, he still, they confront him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I swear he looks even more menacing with his glasses. And like when like Momo's like, no, it can never be you, and he's like,
oh, but it is.
no, not only that, he's like, oh, it was me. And you want to know why you were my vice captain? Because you were so stupid enough to do whatever I said. You stupid. Thank you for being stupid. And then when he's talking to Hitsugai, and it's like, oh, y'all didn't just kill her? I mean, she did betray y'all. That's reason for death. It's like, no, it's because she was like, no, actually, I was doing the girl justice. Like, I knew she couldn't stop me. It's just because I knew once she knew the truth, her poor little heart would break so much that she would just be psychologically damaged forever. So it'd just be better just to kill her. And he was right. She was psychologically just jacked up. The rest, like,
those are the
death might have been a better release for her.
Those are always the terrifying villains when you're like, you have a point.
Yes, he messed this girl up so bad that he wasn't killing her just because she was going to stop his plans. Like, no, he was insanely powerful. No one was going to stop his plans at that point. Mm-hmm. He just knew that, like, everyone else was like, betrayal, resolve, get over, turn my sword on you.
She never did.
Even in the final battle, they were like, can she be here? And she's like, no, yes, Aizen's the bad guy. He betrayed us all. And it's like, does she believe that? Like, I mean, he's killed like 12 of us, and she's still over here being very, oh man. See, Glasses Aizen just so
much better.
So much better.
Okay, my next villain is Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. She was just insanely powerful, but then again slowly driven to madness. Like the final confrontation, you watch her just entire world erode beneath her. Like, she's always tried to, I mean, the Fire Lord like burned her brother for being anything subpar. Can you kind of blame her? Like that she's like, oh no, I have to be the absolute ruthless best of everything.
Yeah, like she took remember when she was pricing with like the elders, and like she did everything perfect, but her hair kind of got a little messy and out of place just because, I mean, she was performing high maneuvers, and it was like, that set her off. It was like, the fact literally that a hair was out of place.
Just absolute descent into madness.
But I mean, respect her. She was methodical enough to, like, her plans really did always work to, like, the degree she wanted them to.
It's true. She was still a very powerful special bender, right? Obviously, blue flames. I would love to, forgive me, I don't know if they've actually written this or not, but I'd love to see, not a redemption arc for her, but I want to see, like, is she okay, I guess?
I don't think so.
Like, is she just, well, I mean, right, she's also driven mad by the fact that she looks like her mother, who was someone peaceful.
I mean, we really don't see her. We see the Fire Lord, like, in prison, and Zuko goes to talk to him, but we never see what happens to her. The last thing we see from her is literally, like, in chains, tied to the metal grates in the ground, screaming and crying in agony and pain as she shoots fire from her mouth.
Right, okay. I don't want to know if she's okay. I want to make sure that the other characters are still looking after her. Like I imagine she's probably just in a catatonic state somewhere. Like, no longer a threat, but occasionally Zuko comes and just, like, gives her food or something, like, on her birthday.
I don't know. Man, I'm just remembering that last scene of her literally just breathing out fire, tied, and just crying.
Fire from her mouth, tears from her eyes. Just, this was, like I think if she had wanted to, she could have still beat Katara.
But her mental state was
She had just been crushed. She had been crushed by the fact that she had been dealt damage.
Yeah, the thing that got me was just that complete emotional breakdown. She's always been very methodical, very logical. And, I mean, it was a very realistic, believable thing. She had been emotionally shook from the betrayal of her friends. And then she had been shook that, like, someone bested her, not beated her. So, like, she was very emotional, and maybe she wouldn't have made those mistakes if she was her clear, logical self. And so, Katara saw opening, a very small, brief chance of victory, and capitalize on it.
Right.
It wasn't when she won. It was like, oh, it's because, like, no, like, that plan had there was a chance of success, but it wasn't huge. It had to be executed properly, and she did. Because people always forget, Katara is a true waterbending master. She is a true master of waterbending. I'm pretty sure she's probably better at waterbending than Aang, like 100%.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and it was almost sad when she got defeated.
Yeah.
It didn't make you like sad for her, but it was just
it was sad.
Yeah,
If you don't live in Texas, we have a phrase here to express this emotion. Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah, there it was.
There it is.
It doesn't mean I wish good for you, or just it's almost half an insult.
It's a really sarcastic, like, yeah. It's like same thing too if someone's stupid. Oh, bless his head.
So yeah, Zula. Oh, okay. My next one is I'm gonna say All for One. It's a newer one, but man. So we've talked about My Hero a lot, and I love My Hero because it takes a very realistic view of what if we all had powers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not like I'm talking about realistic view in terms of our laws, our governing bodies, our day-to-day lives. We all have to have some order in this chaos of super powerful humans, and they've created a world where it makes sense. And All for One is an even greater villain in a sense because his goal isn't to be this super ultra powerful, unstoppable being, which he kind of is, but his goal is something more deeper than that. He wants to get into the psyche of society. He wants to literally destroy the foundation of the world that has been built with superpowers.
Right.
He wants to create a world where not only he rules because he's more powerful, but where the most powerful people rule and have the expression of powers. And he can't do that simply by running around destroying everything. He has to infect, society at the smallest parts to where the deepest cracks through, erosion and seed just become,
People start to question, why the police force in charge? Why is our president quirkless? Why can't I, with my power, just, fly to work?
Yeah, it's like, why do I have to, adhere to a society just because someone isn't as powerful as me? Why do we all agree to live harmoniously when we don't have to?
Mm-hmm.
And he really toys with our heroes and society on such a deep, methodical level. It's one of those things where it's like, how are we going to take over the world? Oh, we're going to control the media. We're going to control the actors, the stars, the pop stars. Where it's like, you're controlling everything on such a level to where it's not that society is bending to your will.
You're changing society's will.
Yeah. To reflect your desires. All behind the scenes. He's the greatest villain in the world and no one probably knows he even exists.
Exactly.
Yeah, like when people saw him, no one had any idea who All Might was fighting.
And All Might is fighting someone with tentacle powers? I don't know, but he seems to be struggling.
Yeah, that's it's the sense of real evil, it reminds me of, it's a quote, I don't know where it's from, but the devil's greatest trick was, making the world believe he didn't exist.
What is that from?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I've seen it in
right.
things, and that's kind of like, All for One.
Exactly. No, that's him to a T. Yes. Okay, so I guess my final villain here is, and Odell, he doesn't have issues with it, but he has a technical point with it. So I'm going to say Satsuki Kiryuin, who you might remember from my Woman Crush Wednesday. I know she's not technically a villain, given the end of the series, but
she is the main antagonist.
She's the main antagonist, and she has a plan from the beginning. It's not even that complicated. It's a hidden plan.
I would say she admitted she played the villain. She knew what she was doing.
Right.
She knew how people perceived and saw her.
She had a plan with several moving parts and had the will to get people on her side and execute it.
Yeah. She said she had the determination to be like, for the benefit of the world, I'll be the villain. She almost like Batman did. Batman did.
Yes.
Batman
did.
Yeah, it's like, why are they chasing him? Because they did. Oh God, I hate that scene so much. It's so stupid. Because they need him to, son. Because we need him to be a bad guy. Anyway, that's
yes.
not what we're talking about.
She's not the president our school needs. She's the president our school deserves.
Yeah,
What about the teachers? Who?
You know what? They never really explain why like high schools fought other high schools. It's just kind of what happened.
Or why the student like groups have more power than actual like teachers.
Were there teachers?
I mean, yeah, that's what the one guy was from Nudist Beach.
Oh yeah.
Right, he was all mop head and the nude.
Yeah. I guess they did just kind of go to school.
I'll guess the manga might explain that like because Kiryuin's mother owns the school, that she owns the board of directors that sets the precedence for the rest of the school.
Yeah.
I'll guess.
I mean, honestly, that fact doesn't really destroy anything.
That's not the point of the anime in any regard.
Well, my final villain is gonna be one of the villains from One Piece, Don Flamingo, because man, he has a tragic backstory, and you really can understand why he was evil. The thing was, he was a little bastard before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like quintessential rich spoiled brat
mm-hmm.
with a superiority complex.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that's the life he came from. But his dad gave it up to live a life of a simple man. But then like he revoked his celestial dragon elite status. And then once people found out their past, they like tormented his family and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, yeah.
So he already had his power and wealth and stature stripped from him. As a kid, right?
Yeah.
It's like, whenever moving is hard as a kid, period, right? Let alone say, hey, guess what, sweetie? I know you enjoy having servants, but I don't, so you don't get them anymore.
And we're going to be among the peasants who live as peasants.
But then those very peasants are going to mock and ridicule you for the thing that I've already given up.
Yeah. And basically, beat you and, torment you for basically how you were born, essentially. So, I mean, he has, legitimate reasons to hate the world. The angels have forsaken him and the devils, have
ignored him?
I don't know.
Or
stomped him.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite sure where this
I was like,
going.
Tortured him. Oh, there we go. And, now he doesn't belong in either world, so he hates it all and wants to watch it burn to the ground.
I'm just imagining... Sorry, I believe this is a great villain, but I'm imagining so many DeviantArt OCs. He's half angel, half, he's half vampire and half this, and he belongs to neither world.
And so he eventually, amasses power, it starts to, use his own power and gets to a status of where, he starts to blackmail the world government since he was, an elite. He knows secrets of the world they can't get out, so he, has them strung. And then, in the pirate world, he has literally grown quite powerful and, someone to be feared. And so his morality compass is all over the place, but in an understandable way. But he is quintessentially just evil. Like, he was probably already just evil as a kid, but now he is a very refined evil. Everything he does is evil. His plans are evil and full of malice. His grin, his laugh, his stature. But he's also really smart. And it's kind of like, it's weird because you understand why he is, but you still hate him because it's just like, man.
Which is amazing, right? Because so many movies and media today are like, he's the understandable, relatable villain. Don't you feel kind of bad for him? Where it's like, you don't have to. Like, a good villain...
Yeah, Don Flamingo, no, he's still evil. It's not like, you just understand it more. So it's like, oh, that perfectly makes sense why the way he is.
No,
but like,
right? It's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Cool story. Still murder, so,
Yeah. And so, and the thing is, I guess the really scary part was, he amassed the power to, bend his evil will. Like, there was no retribution for him. There was no, like, oh, I want to do this and I'll get back. And then, I'm trying, like, no, He literally wanted to watch the world burn. Any and everything in it.
A true, good, just straight villain.
Yeah. And unlike the Joker, who was just like, a dog chasing the car, he was not a dog chasing the car.
That version of the Joker.
Okay, that version.
Or...
But I feel like most versions of the Joker, you can say that, like, he kind of just wants to toy with Batman, like...
But which Joker? There have been 3.
Most incarnations of the Joker is more like, does he really want to kill Batman, or does he just want to keep the game of cat and mouse going?
I love there's an episode of The Brave and the Bold where they were trying to debate, they were meta debating, is Brave and the Bold too stupid? And they're like, the Batman franchise has had such a breadth of, like, directions. You can go from insanely dark and, like, brooding to murder to a lighthearted comedy and, campiness.
I mean, Adam West Batman went on for quite a while.
Bam! Pop! Sound!
Or like, not even Batman's above jaywalking.
That movie was amazing.
So,
Okay.
yeah, those are our villains.
Right? But, how about that Pokemon Go battle system?
Okay, so me and Jared finally tested out the Pokemon Go battle system. Everything that Pokemon Go promised us in the beginning is finally here. Battling, trading, etc. Long story short, the battling system sucks. If you want to win, you better be prepared to break your phone and tapping.
That was something I was really, like, okay, it's not just tap rapidly, it's like tap furiously. Like, because I was casually just like, yeah, like drumming all my fingers. No, I had to like at the phone to get it to really respond to what I wanted it to do.
Just listen to this. I know y'all can hear this. This is how bad you got to tap. I am not exaggerating. That is literally the tapping motion you need to win battles.
It's, yeah.
For our headphone users, I apologize. Might have been a little loud.
Boop, boop, warning. Yeah, so...
And so my bigger question, with Gen 8 on the loom, and, I assume Pokemon Go players are going to buy Gen 8 because Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
That is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
right? This is the gateway.
This is the gateway. You got the gateway game. Now we're going to get the real game. And I feel so bad for them. They're just gonna have such a horrible time.
Well, okay, they are still learning proper battling in Let's Go, roughly. We don't have items yet.
I mean, but Let's Go is still like cakewalk easy.
It's true.
I'm not sure how they're gonna do it with like legit breeding and. Okay, so yes, the balancing of types is there. But still, like, a lot of moves were not there, which made me surprised. Like, they took out a lot of moves.
It's true.
Like,
so it's but okay, but Go, this Pokemon
oh, okay,
Go.
Go.
Like, the problem I still have with the battle system, these are just technical things, right? It's like the fact that when I request a battle from you, it takes like 2 minutes for you to get the notification.
And the only way I can start it is by getting the notification. I can't like go find your name and accept it.
It's like yeah, it's just like it doesn't pop up. You have to go if you're in any sub menu, you have to exit back to the mainland. It's just not a very good system.
All right, so we're 4 generations into Pokemon Go, 4 out of 7. How much?
3.5. We have a slow release of 4Gen coming.
I'm just gonna say we're in 4.
Yeah.
So we have 3 more generations going. How realistically can Pokemon Go keep going? But by the end of this year, we should at least be in 6.
I think.
If not all the way into the 7th.
I mean, I think releasing the number of Pokemon is not really the hassle-some part. I see the bigger barrier being the level 40 cap on things. Because once everybody's exactly the same thing, is there any...
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to raise it to 50.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to exponentially, like, grind up from that, too. It's going to be... Are you still keeping track of the experience you're earning? Like... If you got 40 like last year,
I doubt it.
So everybody again will just progress forward at the same rate.
So I've recently again stopped playing Pokemon Go just because the grind just gets, to me, it gets just extremely tedious at some point. And like these new features that they've been giving us slowly aren't enough. They almost just feel worse.
The Sinnoh Stone, I'm like, well, what about all the items I still have rattling about from Kanto and Johto? Like, I like the concept of, like, a singular item, but it takes up the exact same... Like, if I have 3 of them, that's the exact same 3 slots I have would have been dedicated to, like, a King's Rock. Like, it doesn't save me space. Not really.
I don't think Pokemon Go survives to 2020.
They're going to have to do something... They're going to have to integrate it, again, further past Let's Go. It's going to have to be integratable with all future Pokemon games.
I don't want Pokemon Go to touch Gen 8 in any way.
That's fine. That's fair.
In any way.
And that is Odell's hard, villainous look at Pokemon Go.
I'm Odell Harmon Jr., and those are the facts.
So, that comes to the end of this episode. I'm Jared Fradette. You can find me at Velo.
And again, I'm Odo Harmon Jr. You can find me at Odo Harmon Jr. on all social media. And those are the facts.
Until next week.
Have a great week, everybody.